It's 2014, you're 13 years old, Divergent just came out, and riding its coattails, you decide how hard can it be to write a screenplay? And so you do, or part of one, like 19 scenes of one. I'm obviously talking about the 2014 blockbuster hit Soulless. I still have the 19-scene, 13-year-old writing unfinished script, and this script is famous amongst my friends, and I thought I would share it with you, kind of. Essentially, the plot is Divergent. Everybody's been like kind of hacked in their brains a little bit, except for in this version, they're devoid of emotion, so it's like the end of Divergent. A couple years prior to this dystopia, a soulless takeover happened in which Gyro, there's nothing I can do about the name. It's spelled like Gyro, but for authenticity's sake, I am going to say Gyro because that's how I was saying it at 13. Gyro is the leader of this takeover, and her henchman is called Cell. These are like mindless drone soldiers that like operate only for like Gyro and Cell's interests. Mostly Gyro. Cell really is just a henchman. Our protagonist's name is Bio. That's who I thought I was gonna play when I casted this as a movie. Brother is Edge. Edge is not soulless. Edge just like escaped the soulless takeover somehow, but she didn't. She's been soulless for years along with her best friend N, along with their other friend Titanium, who they don't really realize is their friend but used to be their friend before. Now that we know the characters, let's dive into the world of Soulless scene by scene. Scene 1, we have Bio on like a hunt. She's like casing the perimeter. She runs into Edge, who's her brother, and Edge keeps calling her Jen, and she's really irritated by this because she doesn't understand why he's calling her Jen. Worth mentioning that it's noted in the script that these are Nerf guns. Bio is being sassy, is being sarcastic, but for some reason she lets Edge go, even though Edge is like an enemy of the state. Edge is like highly wanted by the Soulless compound, but because he calls her Jen, it kind of like sets her off guard, and she basically lets him go. Scene 2, Gyro interrogates Bio, Titanium, and N. Gyro's like mean and snarky, so is Cell. Like that's kind of like who they are. They're very like coy. Gyro's talking to them being like, is Edge alive? They're like, we don't know. Bio doesn't say that she saw him. And not Edge, I know that that's confusing, stops Bio and is like, Bio, like I saw what you did with Edge. Like I know that you're glitched. That is basically Divergent in this universe. Like they're glitched. And reveals that he is also glitched. Bio's like, no, I'm not. You don't know what you saw. Like leave me alone. And is like, we need to run away together. Bio's like, absolutely not. And is like, okay, but if you change your mind, like this is where I'm gonna be tomorrow. Scene 4, Cell and Gyro like talk together about like they think that something's off, they think that something's suspicious, but they don't make any conclusions. Scene 5, Bio meets up with N anyway, and she decides to run away with him. This is also the beginning of where these lines that I thought were going to be Pinterest quotes when my movie was big and famous start appearing. N looks at her and says, one last thing, should one of us have to die, it's me. You can't risk your life for me or for Edge. You are not going to die for me. You are not going to die for Edge. You are not going to die. Bio's like, N, people die. The fact of the matter is like the chances of surviving is, and N interrupts her, and he's like, you will not die on my watch. Like, let's go. I wonder who Bio's love interest is going to be. Scene 6, Gyro and Cell are out looking for Bio and N. They've realized that they're missing. They ask where Bio and N have gone. Carbon's like, I don't fucking know. Like, I see no signs of life. They're like, okay, cool. Like, return to your job. Basically like a mindless drone. But they know that Bio and N have gone a certain way because they have custom shoes like the Soulless soldiers do, and so they can see the footprints. Scene 7 is 6 lines. They wake up all of the Soulless soldiers. They're like, Bio and N have escaped. Go find them. And Titanium wakes up, but she's really confused. And she's like, do you mean find Jen, which is Bio's real name? So they take her in for questioning. Scene 8 cuts immediately to the containment facility where they're interrogating Titanium. Cell is interrogating her, kind of flirty in the way that he interrogates. This is a staple with the villains in this movie. She's talking about Jen. She doesn't really realize that that's Bio, and she had a brother named Ed. And we find out that they don't know that Edge is her brother, and now they do because Titanium has like accidentally revealed this information to them. We get another Pinterest quote line. Gyro walks in front of Cell, like barges in on this interrogation before they take Titanium to the cell, and she looks at her and she's like, if you do anything to ruin my empire, like I will dispose of you, like you're as worthless as dirt to me. And Titanium looks at her and goes, here's the deal with dirt. To the stupid, it's worthless. But to the smart and caring, it makes a world of a difference. It grows the plants. And Gyro says, what are you saying? And Titanium goes, I'm saying that you need me and you're too stupid to see it. Do you see how in a 13-year-old's mind that was really prolific? Okay. Scene 9, I can't show you any of. When this document was found, me and my friends were doing a routine sweep of like my archives. There's always more artifacts from my childhood that pop up and that are really funny to look back on. 13-year-old me is kind of like a caricature amongst my friends. We found this document and we found this scene. It is very famous in my personal life, known as what is called the BDSM scene. I didn't know what I was writing, but it's really clear to me now. The gist of the scene that I can give you is that it's a flashback to the Soulless takeover, right? It's like Bio getting kidnapped initially and like made soulless. It sounds really innocent, and I would like to believe that it is. The way in which it is written, both villains are speaking in this coy, flirty, thick undertone way. There is a lot of handcuff and a lot of like being tied. I wish I could share this with you. I don't want to, but I'm not gonna not tell you about scene 9 because that is the funniest part of the script to me. And so I want you to know it exists so that you can laugh with me about it, but you don't need to see her get the cuffs. Anyway, that scene ends. We wake up, we're in Titanium's cell. Cell reveals that they have her brain under surveillance, so like they can see her dreams, they can see her thoughts, they can see all of this. Titanium has basically told them that Bio's glitched, which doesn't really make sense to me because I'm like, she escaped. Like obviously obviously she's glitched. Titanium is kind of like overridden with guilt. Scene 11, Gyro bitches sell out. How could you let them escape? And Gyro is especially pissed. She said that Bio was the key to understanding how to cure the glitches, like how to like rewire their brains, like make them soulless forever. Scene 12, we cut back to Bio and N, who are still escaped. They're walking by the river. Bio's like, how did you never get caught? You've been glitched this whole time. N tells her this story that like they knew what happened with like his ex-girlfriend Kay. Kay like came and tried to like infiltrate the soulless, and she was disposed of. N feels a lot of guilt for this, and so Bio was like, well, did you dispose of her? And he's like, no, Gyro did. Then she's like, then why do you feel guilty about it? Which like, you go, Bio, like true. And is like, I really loved her. Bio's like, we all lose somebody you love, like get used to it basically. Titanium finds them. She calls Bio Jen because she remembers the past. Bio's like, I'm not fucking Jen. Everybody needs to stop calling me that. Bio, Titanium, and N are all having this conversation. All of us are glitched, and Bio's like, yeah, but we all have different glitches. Like N can feel emotions like the rest of us can, so I guess he's not any different. Titanium remembers the past, which Bio and N can't. Bio reveals that she can escape reality. She can go to this like dream world. She can like see things, but like this is dangerous because she's asleep in the real world. And so like that makes her really vulnerable because she can't just wake up out of it. N makes the same deal with Titanium. Basically like, if somebody has to die, it's gonna be me. It's not gonna be you. I'm here to protect you. Remember that, because N is kind of a traitor. Scene 13, obviously it was just revealed to us, so obviously Bio is going to go into the dream world. She goes in the dream world. She sees Edge, her brother, and Edge is like, don't look for me. Like, don't look for me. Like, they're coming for you. Like, I need you not to look for me. Edge promises her that it's gonna be okay, and like she's gonna be fine. So when she wakes up, she like repeats that, like, you promise everything's gonna be okay. And Titanium is like, oh, you were talking to Edge. She's like, how'd you know? She's like, Edge always used to say that. Bio says that Edge doesn't want him to find him, and is like, well, how do we know how real your alternate reality is? Like, he could be in trouble, and like we need to go find him. Titanium is like, you're gonna freak her out, dude. Like, she's already like bending reality. She already just thinks that she can't find her brother ever. Like, give her a fucking break. And they're kind of like talking about Bio like she's damaged, which like pisses her off. Bio goes on a walk by herself. This is like by scene 15. Gyro's in the woods like finding her. She runs back to camp. She's like, Gyro's here. Like, Gyro's gonna find us. And they're like, how could they possibly find us? And it's not the footprints. They say that they turned off their footprints. No idea how that worked, but it's because Titanium still has a tracker implanted in her. And so they're like, how do we get rid of the tracker? And they're like, we can't get rid of the tracker without reconditioning her brain, which can only be done back at the Soulless headquarters. Bio's like, well, then we're going back to the Soulless headquarters, or we're gonna deal with the tracker. Like, we're not leaving you behind, Titanium. And Titanium and both are like, no, like, fuck Titanium, like, leave her. Bio's like, really? Coming from you, N, who just like promised, like, if somebody's gonna die, it's gonna be you and you'll never leave us behind. N turns around and is like, that's before she almost got us killed. Fuck N, honestly. They argue, they bicker. Bio's like, we're not leaving her. N's like, yes, we are. And eventually Titanium's like, it's my decision, I'm leaving. N's like, if we go back, Gyro wins. And Bio's like, if we don't go back, then we're the bad guys. And she's right. Scene 16, Bio and N are bickering. They like to bicker a lot. And this is where N truly makes an enemy of me, because he tells Bio the reason that they had to leave Titanium behind is because Titanium was sent by Gyro to like be a part of their group, to like trick them. He has no evidence for this, but is like telling her this like it's fact. He's basically like, Titanium came and Judas kissed us, and like that was the whole reason that she was here. Bio's like, I don't fucking believe you. You have no proof for this. Like, why would I care about this? And she says, fine then, have fun believing everyone hates us. I'm going to sleep. And she does. Bio goes to sleep. She wakes up. She apologizes to N. You shouldn't have, Queen. He was in the wrong. N's like, I was just scared that they were gonna take you away. Like, I don't want to lose you. Bio's like, okay, fine, but we're going back. We're gonna get Titanium. Nobody deserves to die. N is like, well, Gyro and Cell do. And Bio is like, no, nobody does. She deserves to be in prison, but she doesn't deserve to be killed. So I guess like Bio is gonna have like this like pacifist arc. N's like, I don't give a fuck about your beliefs. If I see Gyro, I'm disposing of her. And Bio, and this one's kind of fucked up, throws his ex-girlfriend Kay back in his face, who has nothing to do with Gyro, like as a concept. Like, this was somebody that was like good. Somehow this turns into like this really long conversation about if you can love after death. And in this scene, we have the worst of the Pinterest quote scene. Reads like, oh, but my darling, what if you fly? N says, would you love somebody if you died? And Bio says, if I could, God, yes. Oh, I would love to stay in love, but every soul has limits, just as every battery dies. N says, oh, but Bio, how could we love if we were limitless, weightless, fearless? Bio says, limitless? And if I were limitless, I would wish for boundaries. If we were weightless, we would wish to be grounded. If we were fearless, we would long to conquer something that isn't there. I don't have an excuse for that one. It's just rough. They bicker a little bit again. What's new? Scene 18, Bio is being tied to a chair and being kind of interrogated. They basically tell her that they have her brother and they're gonna kill him. This is her alternate reality. Bio's like, I'm gonna find Edge. I know that he said not to find him, but I think that he's in trouble. I'm gonna go find him. And N's like, I thought we weren't supposed to, but like, okay, whatever. And scene 19, which is the last scene we have of Soulless 2014, Titanium is now being interrogated interrogated. And this is confirmation that she was not Gyro's spy. Gyro and Cell are interrogating her, basically being like, where's Bio, where's N? Like, we know that you know where they are. And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. She gives them like a fake answer where they are. She says like they've gone off to find civilization. They believe there's other people out there, to basically send Gyro and Cell on a fool's errand away from where Bio and N are going. So like, go Titanium. We love Titanium. And that's the end of Soulless 2014, or at least what we have of it. I will never know how Soulless 2014 ended, but now you're in the know. Tag yourself, I'm Cell.